Now we review the 2008 film Asylum. Seriously? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I have seen the 2008 film Asylum because I will review almost anything. And the 2008 film Asylum is the story of a group of college students living in a dorm that used to be a mental institution. Yeah. How a dorm would be converted, or how a mental institution would be converted into a dorm and would ever wind up next door to a prestigious college, I don't know. But that's the story of this film. It's Freddy Kruger sexually assaults Dr. Giggles, and then their love child is banged by Pennywise the clown, and the result of that has a Event Horizon fetish? Yeah. Anyway, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pint of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you would be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you will be doing your part for a better world. Now, Asylum. To give you an idea of what this movie is like, it's got a 4 out of 10 on IMDb, and 14% of audiences like the film. It's pretty disappointing. And, you know, it's one of those things that the first act of the film is sort of grounded in reality, but sets up the idea that a bunch of people died at this mental institution because of a psychotic doctor. And, you know, the school was going to tear the building down, but apparently it's historically significant, so that's not going to happen. But the settings of this film, they're what basically make it a Freddy Krueger clone, you know? And it's like, yeah, the monster can show you your worst nightmares. It preys upon the broken, which is fine. And I mean, you know, the aesthetic, if it were darker, it would be a little more Hellraiser. But it's not very Hellraiser. It's got the barbed wire that you saw in Event Horizon. And, you know, it's just, the problem with this is that you have to remember that the films it's kind of ripping off are, you know, they're 5 barf bag films if you follow the horror geek. Mike Bracken would probably, I mean, I don't know what he'd give A Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's definitely up there in terms of barf bags, and he rates goriness of films. In order to make this film work, it has to be gory, and the big baddie needs way more character. I mean, it's one of those things with like Freddy Krueger, which this is heavily inspired by, is he has a lot of character. The dude can't shut up. And the fact that the dude can't shut up is the thing that makes him memorable. The original concept for Krueger was actually that they wanted him to be a silent killer, like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. But instead, they decided, let's go the opposite route so that he doesn't get overlapped, and that was a good thing. This guy, I mean, it's like, you know, I never saw Dr. Giggles, which, you know, the distinctive thing about that was that the monster laughed. In this, the monster is apparently connected to the medical profession and has no distinctive je ne sais quoi. You know, it's other than the barbed wire aesthetic. And that barbed wire aesthetic isn't seen very much. So it's very weak. Also, the ending sequence, despite being pretty eventful, is a little on the nonsensical side. And, one of the things about this movie is that there's a backstory that you don't get. How is it that this was a thing? And yes, okay, maybe that was something better left to another movie for screen time reasons, but it's a movie that leaves you with a lot more questions than answers, and it's just not very engaging. Some of the best characters are killed off way too early. There is a reasonable body count. I mean, this is a slasher film. If you want to see a slasher film, this is definitely a slasher film. But it's a slasher film that suffers from a low budget and vanilla writing. It needs more pizzazz. That's what this needs. It's serviceable, but it's not good. For those of you who are fans of crap cinema, this is very good by comparison. It's almost, true feature quality. It's something that if you put this in a movie theater, you would think, okay, yes, this is a real movie. The shots are quality, the makeup is quality enough, and the aesthetics look to be done competently. So it's not one of those backyard camcorder pile of garbage films. It is a solid enough film. It's just that the ending product is not very engaging. So it belongs in the lower 25% of your watch list. It's not necessarily to be avoided, but if you're... I mean, it's not terrible. It is a competently made film. It's just there are so many better films out there that why would you watch this? Okay? I liked the title. I thought it was an interesting film, but the Asylum part almost seems to be shoehorned in. They could have just made it an old hospital or something. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours on the comments below. I'm Richard. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Barry, the official strawberry poison dart frog of Random Street Theater. And I am here to remind you, of course, that for every 1,000 subscribers Random Street Theater gets, they buy one of these bracelets I'm wearing as a necklace. These bracelets are from the company 4Ocean, and for every one of them that's purchased, a pound of trash is removed from the ocean. Why should you care? Because the world is full of trash, and you shouldn't be part of that. We should all take responsibility, do our part for the environment, and make my home much cleaner. In addition, Random Street Theater has paid for more than 100 trees to be planted. Comment, like, and subscribe. Support a better world for you and a better world for me. I'm Barry.